This Week in Fish and Wildlife, sponsored by your local Montana Toyota dealers.
Thursday morning, time once again for This Week in Fish and Wildlife. Once again, we're at Region 3 headquarters with Morgan Jacobson. Some encouraging news on the invasive species, the mussel infestation that we've been talking about. Tiber Reservoir, Canyon Ferry. I know there'd been a long study going on with that. Some encouraging news coming off of Canyon Ferry, isn't there?
Yeah, so the launch restrictions on Canyon Ferry were recently lifted. And so what that means for boaters is, previously, since there was a suspect detection for invasive mussels at Canyon Ferry, boaters had to get an inspection as they came off of Canyon Ferry and get a decontamination before launching elsewhere. Those restrictions have now been lifted. We've had 3 years of testing and haven't found any suspect or positive results for invasive mussels at Canyon Ferry, and so we're excited to lift those restrictions.
And this inspection has been pretty thorough. I mean, thousands of inspections just last year.
Yeah, in fact, roughly 7,000 boats were inspected coming off of Canyon Ferry last year. It's been a really rigorous process to protect our waters here in Montana from aquatic invasive species. We want boaters to know that we're still on guard for those invasive species. A lot of the other restrictions that we currently have to prevent that spread are still in place. So if you're coming in from out of state, or if you're traveling west across the Continental Divide, or if you're coming off of Tiber Reservoir, you still need an inspection before, when you're in those circumstances. So, we want people to be aware that, we still want to prevent the spread of aquatic invasive species, but we're really glad that we can lift these restrictions at Canyon Ferry.
I would say that it goes without saying then we're still going to follow that clean, drain, dry mantra that's been going around. It certainly can't hurt.
Oh, absolutely. We still encourage people, no matter where they launch or where they recreate, to always clean, drain, and dry their equipment. Invasive mussels aren't the only species that we're looking out for, and so if you care about the waters where you recreate, we really want people to keep that in mind. Clean, drain, and dry your equipment every time.
And I'm sure if folks have any questions, the website has all the information that you'd possibly need to know about aquatic invasive species.
Yeah, so all the inspection stations that'll be operating throughout this next season, all the information about aquatic invasive species in Montana can be found at cleandraindrymt.com. And again, if people have questions beyond that, they're welcome to contact Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks.
That's perfect. Again, Morgan Jacobson joining us this morning, talking about some good news on Canyon Ferry involving those invasive mussels. Morgan, thank you very much. And that's This Week in Fish and Wildlife.
This Week in Fish and Wildlife was sponsored by Toyota. Let's go places.